Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Give praises to Jehovah, from whom all blessings, blessing and knowledge will flow. Blessing and knowledge will flow. The Village Talk Show, dedicating to empowering the community to live a healthy, safe, and financially capable life, helping each one of us in realizing our dream at any age, any point, starting from today, day. Success. Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Success is not spoken, it is done. Success is done. Come on now. The Village Talk Show. Talk Show. The Village Talk Show.
On this last day of Good evening, villagers. Welcome to the Village Talk Show on this last day of March 2022. Today is March 31st, and I just want to thank all my villagers for listening, coming through on YouTube, and I look forward to calling in to just really discuss some of the topics of what's going on out here in the community. And I want to hear from you tonight. You know, a lot of times my co-host, Mr. Daly's not here yet, so make sure you get all your questions in before he gets in, so he starts to do all the talking. And we know Dr. Brian will be on shortly, but I just want my villagers to come in and talk. But first of all, I just want to say thank you for all the support you have given us throughout our tenure here on GD Radio, on YouTube. And also a shout out to all our individuals who have come on the show, from the mayor to the controller to the public advocate to our community people, just discussing all the issues that really impact our communities. And I got my good friend Andre here, one of our producers, and also I got our other producer, Sophia. Sophia's always around somewhere, always making sure we're putting that information together. So I just want to get straight to it tonight on the Village Talk Show. And how about those St. Peter's in New Jersey, ladies and gentlemen? They got to the Elite Eight. The first time a 15 seed was able to get to the Elite Eight. And you know what happens once you get to the Elite Eight? The coach leaves and goes to Seton Hall. You know what I'm saying? So he just leaves St. Peter's dry like that. St. Peter's put him in a position where he can become the next coach for Seton Hall, and he leaves them high and dry. But I want to wish Mr. Holloway good luck. Thank him for the ride that he gave us, the excitement that he gave us. 15 seeds right there in the heart of Jersey City. But why can't it be Brooklyn? Why can't it be New York, that we got one of our colleges going to the Elite Eight, whatever? But hey, we're good. We got some good ball players, and Syracuse won it a couple of years, not a couple of years ago, but it was a while ago before Syracuse won the NCAA championship. But I want to give my kudos and respect to St. Peter's. They lost to North Carolina in the Elite Eight. and their Cinderella run ended. But I got to congratulate them on a job well done. So villagers, let's make sure we congratulate the young men of St. Peter's. Congratulations on that run and that excitement that they give it. But this weekend is the Final Four. And what's interesting? It will be like poetic justice. When I tell you poetic justice, and what I mean by that, hey, Dr. Bryant, welcome to the Village Talk Show. How you doing, Doc? I can't hear you, Doc. Speak up.
I'm great. Good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Doc. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, we lost our time, freedom without interruption. Mr. Daly is here. You know what I'm saying? Oh, wait. Oh, Simone, wait. So everyone is late today except John and Dre? That's right, Simone. That's right, Simone. Everybody is late, But without further ado, Dr. Bryant, I want you to say hello to our village. And I'm going to switch chairs with Mr. Daly. You had your chance for a couple of minutes so you can talk. Hey, what's up, Rodney? Salute, baby. How's everything, man? I see you doing your thing, man. Let me know when there's the next concert, man. What's going on? Come on. So without further ado, I want to bring Mr. Daly in his chair. Sorry, villagers. You had an opportunity to talk a lot before Mr. Daly came in. So we lost that opportunity. Mr. Daly.
Boom, boom, boom. Headset. You can hear me?
Loud and clear.
Come on in, brother.
Loud and clear.
Sorry, here. Good morning.
Good morning. There you go, villagers. He's already off.
Good morning.
Good afternoon. Good evening.
Right. John made me late. Everyone. He didn't tell everybody that he made me late. Andre, look back there. See my cell phone real fast. Yeah, I can't hear it either. I can't hear myself. None of the headsets.
John,
Simone
says, "Hey, Dr. John was about to be on a roll."
I know, Simone. I know.
And I missed it, guys. Don't let me interrupt you. All right, don't let me interrupt you on the roll. How you,
Dr. Bryant? You were taking.
Can you hear?
Dr. Bryant, what's going on with you, Doc? What's happening?
I started hearing that. I couldn't hear anymore. Not
good, brother. Good evening,
I can hear.
Hey, brother Warren, what's up, brother? How you doing, man? Yo, we out here, brother.
Wait.
I hope you and your family are doing well, man.
Warren, I had a student many years ago at South Shore.
It was not Warren. Warren grew up with us, brother. So it ain't Warren.
And it weren't. I saw when I was doing something.
It ain't Warren Henry, brother.
Right. I was actually Warren Henry is also a Guyanese.
You might be right about that.
All right. Warren Henry was Guyanese. He was born in 1970. He was my second oldest student.
Nah, that's not Warren, baby. Warren grew up with us, man. Warren's right along with me, baby.
Yeah, I saw somebody who went to my 11, and I think she went to my 11. Her name is I was doing a career day yesterday, and she's over at 275 at Emma. Was that Emma Thomas? Emma's whatever the name is. 275. 275 used to be growing up, and she's like, "Yeah, I went to my 11." I was like, "All right, too. Must be hanging out with John Earl James." We're hanging out.
Man, Earl is a good friend of mine. Andre Pierre from the neighborhood.
Yes,
he passed away. Want to send condolences out to the Pierre family. Andre was a good brother, man. Back in the day, man. Earl James, Ray Blake, man. He was a part of the community, the '90s posse. Man.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. There, we used to play ball, yo. He was a great baller, just to find out that he
just want to pass my condolences on to his family.
Yeah, man. Warren, I see you say nope. You have Jamaican roots. I like that. Which part of Jamaica? Yo, another also sad note. One of the Jamaican singers, Tabby Diamond. Tabby Diamond was gunned down 2 days ago, on the 29th.
Hey, and you talking about gun down? You know what's interesting? I was just I
don't know. Wait. I'm sorry, Joe. Can you hear us though? Because we can't hear through.
Yeah.
No, I can hear you guys. You guys
can hear. All right.
Okay. Great. For 1 second. I was reading, some of the clippings from the newspapers and about this young man. Last weekend, a young man, 26 years old, was executed.
26
years old over there in Far Rockaway. He was from East New York.
No, what did he say? Executed by the law?
No, he was executed by another execution style by another individual. He was walking along with this individual about 8:10 in the evening, walking along with him like they knew one another. and this guy pulled out a gun and shot and killed this guy.
Yeah, that.
I mean, this is just the ruthlessness of people. You know, it's just amazing.
The girl in the car.
These people have these individuals
have no regard,
no regard for human life. And
Mm-hmm.
you know, and people, the sympathy, they just ruin it. They ruin it for everybody else. This is why you have to be tough on crime. This is why we have to be tough on crime. And it's unfortunate. Hey, Big Mike, man. What's going on, man? That's my man, Mike, man. Good brother, man. He's down south. You know, I got a lot of respect for him. He looked out for me. And I want to thank you very much, Mike. And I want to wish you the best, man. Please, wish you all the best.
I took the Corolla.
One of our good brothers passed away too, Mike. A brother named Stacks. Stacks, a young brother, man, passed away, man. He had his wake today, and you know they're burying him tomorrow. So I want to send out to the Stacks family. Yeah. I want to send out my condolences.
You know, a lot of deaths, a lot of unnecessary deaths, a lot of two kids on the Instagram live.
And the girl was shot the cousin
in the head.
Yeah.
We saw this. That was a little old. With the two of them sitting in the car, right? It was in the car, right?
It was in the bathroom. Apparently, they were in the bathroom.
Oh, in the bathroom. Oh, there was one in the car where they were playing with. They were playing with the gun, right? And popped the kid in the head and killed him.
But you know, I mean, and it's just like
she killed herself.
It's just like everybody's on the mayor's back about him bringing about, you know, this new style of anti-crime group to get the guns off the street, concentrating on the quality of life crimes, getting rid of all these homeless encampments going on throughout the city. You know, everybody's, the mayor's going back to the years of Giuliani. Man, if you want to continuously live with crime on every street corner, with the homelessness going on without taking care of those brothers and sisters who have had trauma in their lives and prefer to live on the streets than the homeless shelters and dealing with all this other issues, you know what? Please deal with that. But people like on the Village, people like us, we want a city that is cleaned up. We know that the mayor can do that. We need to support him instead of always, you know, the press going after him. He's trying to make sure that people in New York City feel safe again.
And that's so.
I want to add a couple of things. Yeah. I'm sorry, Joe. You were saying something.
No, I said that's so important because we won't be able to rebound back as a city unless crime is alleviated, unless we feel safe to go out, start going back to work, start traveling on the train. Tourists won't come to New York if they see all these crimes happening. And in order for us to jump back, we need to make sure that we get rid of that. So, you know.
So I want to share a story, right? Everybody know I just went away, right? I went to I was in Europe. I went to Serbia, and the Monday morning I went to Romania. I went wait before I forget, John. Before I forget what I don't want to forget my train of thoughts, but what does Simone mean by Dr. John was about to be on the road?
Simone was on the road. Tell me Simone was on the road.
I just want to know what she meant by that. She said like you're about to be on the road. So I got Simone, what you saying? I got to go back and watch the tape to see what he was on the road. I got you. But anyway, so I'm in the Starbucks in Romania, Timisoara. Hopefully I pronounced that right. If I don't, you're a Romanian that screwed the pronunciation up. Shoot me, right?
Whoa.
Right. Don't shoot me is what I meant to say.
Violence.
Right? And guess what? Going back to what you're saying, John. You know how the young man, because he was no more than 20 years old. You know how he greeted me?
How did he greet
you? He said, "Hey, where you from?" I said, "I'm from New York." He goes, "You're from New York? Wow, you guys have a lot of rats." Yo, and New Yorkers. Hold on. Wait. He said something else too. He goes like, "You guys are rude." I was like,
Roger,
"Wow, you know."
Did he mean the two-legged rats or the four-legged rats?
Well, I don't know, but he said you got. I'm like, yo, we have. I couldn't deny it. We had some in the subways, right? We do have some in the subways, and I'm like, it's not that New Yorkers are rude; it's that New York are fast-paced. When you go around the world, Like one thing I noticed, like when you
No,
go,
New Yorkers are rude. New Yorkers are rude.
no, I'm gonna defend New Yorkers in this way, right? It's kind of like the taxi cab who doesn't stop the horn at the moment the light changes. It's like you're always on the run. You always want to make that stupid almighty greenback. Like you don't have time. Like when you travel, I don't know how many of you travel, especially us black folks, most of us black folks who travel to like European countries and see these things. And actually think about it for a second. We are one of the least group of people who vacation. Did you know that? We're one of the least group of people who actually go on vacation to anywhere in the world. So it's not that New Yorkers are rude. It's just that I'm not ratting on John. That's so funny. Yeah, Simone, you're on a roll today. I know that, right? But so we don't take the time out to smell the coffee or smell the roses or smell anything. We're just so busy. So it's not that we're rude. It's that life, in a moment, you're doing so many things, right? In a moment, you're doing so many things. Hey, I want to say, hola, Mercedes, ¿cómo está? Muchas gracias por su ayuda hoy. Okay. Muchas gracias. All right. Te veo mirando nuestro programa. So, me alegro mucho. Muchas gracias. Okay. Right. So, but at the end of the day,
for joining us this evening.
Right. Thank you, Sylvia. Right. And Rodney, I'm still waiting on Cher's number, dog. Right.
It's true. You see, Simone agreed. Native New Yorkers are rude. And eventually, once you start to assimilate, you are rude. You know, people are rude. New Yorkers are rude.
New Yorkers are not. Okay.
They are.
Okay. I don't agree.
Well,
right?
wait.
When New Yorkers leave New York and go to like Alabama, Tennessee, right? They're like, why people move so slow? They drive slow. They move slow, right? But I want to switch topic for a moment. I want to ask a question, John. And right?
Are rude. Okay,
right?
I can agree.
What time is your first guest supposed to come on, Andre? What time?
Yeah, we got 10 more minutes.
We got 10 more minutes. I want to flip to a couple conversations.
Flip it.
Why every week we come back? Wow, Simone says that too. New Yorkers are rude, period. Yo, what's going on, Simone?
It's the truth. Accept it.
There are 2 topics, 3 topics, 4 topics, 5 topics that are bothering me.
Oh, God.
Right? Bothering me.
Right.
So I'm going to roll them out. I know we're not going to have enough time to talk about them, right? One that's bothering me is our people not willing to spend money.
All right, 2. What's 2?
Right? 2, what the hell is going on with Brian Benjamin?
3.
Right?
What's
3? I got a phone call, repeated phone call about the escalating cost of traffic tickets.
What's 4?
Right? 4. Right? You just what's going on in Ukraine? Why is it that people can't say that this is a damn war, not a freaking invasion, dog?
5.
That's my 5. That's 5.
What was 4?
I told you 4. One.
I said 4. I didn't say what.
One was about spending money. Like for one thing, I was talking about somebody. I was like, "Yo, buy a part of Amazon, right? Buy a part of When you talk about it, 2 weeks ago, it was the 2,900. We told everybody it's going on a split, and I said this. Go back to the tape. Good thing you catch this on YouTube.
You did.
That when a stock is going to split, the price it's going to go up. Right? Buy a share.
The stock didn't split yet.
Right?
The stock didn't split yet.
I know that. So I said to people, buy the stock. Oh, I don't have any money. I don't have any money to buy the stock. Buy a piece of the stock.
Mm-hmm.
Since you spoke about it, it went up $500.
See that, ladies and gentlemen?
It went up $500. You spoke about it at 2,900. Now it's at 3,400. I didn't check it for today, but yesterday was at 34. Okay, now it's down to 30. So it's still $300.
So now number 2, Brian Benjamin.
Benjamin. I think they should leave him alone. I do. I think they should leave him alone. I think, like, at the end of the day, it's like people don't understand. When you collected money, when you campaigning and you're collecting money,
mm-hmm.
right? You don't always know immediately
where it's coming
about the genesis of the money. not almost immediately. Right? That's not. There's no way for you to know. After doing your research, and you know where the money comes from, then you have to make a decision.
Daily.
Yeah.
We talked about rats, right? In Brian Benjamin's case, watch out for the two-legged rat.
Kumbaya. I leave my Jamaican. Plus, Brian Benjamin is Jamaican.
Yeah, no,
Brian Benjamin
is Jamaican and also Guyanese. Okay, his mother's Guyanese.
Yes. I was the one who was left out. Okay, in that conversation.
I was left out, but
I missed. I wasn't here.
Brian Benjamin's case.
He's a nice guy.
Please, please. It's just an investigation. Please hold all your fodder and your fire for the gentleman, but be aware of the two-legged rat. And rats will do what they need to do to get themselves out of the lion's mouth, and they will create certain scenarios. Because one thing I could tell everybody about the feds, and I know the feds do not care about what the truth is. They only care about what they believe the truth to be. And that is it. They don't care if it is 150% correct. But if they think it does not fit their narrative, they will do what they have to do. Just always remember that. Always remember that. So always, please, dot your I's, cross your T's, and do not. And the person who exposed them the greatest was the former President Donald Trump. When you have FBI agents who are doing it in investigations and who go on their own, who are on email and Twitter, with another FBI agent expressing their own personal views about this individual in the negative, and these are the same ones who are doing the investigations, you don't think their own biases
come into play
a role. So with respect to Benjamin, you know what? It's an election year. Again, from experience, the feds will not do anything in an election year. They will not, because they do not want to be responsible for dictating the terms of an election. However, but once it happens after that, then the feds will come in hard. So hopefully this is, Brian, the lieutenant governor, has all his I's, T's crossed. You only have to be worried about the two-legged rat, because there's other rats going on, not four-legged. In his case, it's a two-legged rat. So hopefully, let the investigations continue. And I hope the feds, during their investigations, remove their own biases and make a determination based upon what is actually the truth, not what they believe the truth to be.
I want to do
so number three. Number three. Go ahead.
Number three, tickets.
Oh, the tickets are, you know what?
There are a couple of things I want to talk about that too. Eric Adams.
This sounds personal, the whole tickets thing.
Word, it sounds personal.
No. Okay, so let's put up. So let me pull up Warren's comment right here. The camera tickets are New York City biggest money maker.
That's true.
Correct.
Right?
It was originally set up for schools, to be around schools.
So now tickets in New York City, ticketing people in New York City, not just camera tickets, but ticketing. Parking tickets was what? $25 for parking ticket.
It all depends where you live.
Right? Not the parking 45. Well, that's true.
Some parking tickets in Manhattan are more than local parking tickets in the Canarsie or East.
But still, it was $25. It's now $45 for parking ticket for alternate side parking.
They call it inflation.
Right? Inflation. Let me ask you a question, John. I want to ask my viewers out there. I want to ask all of you a very quick question. Have you gotten 100% raise in the last 10 years?
Man, we know that we haven't gotten 100% raise.
Exactly.
You ain't give me a raise. We've been here. Doc, you ain't give us no raise since we've been here. So
I gave you 1,000% raise since you've been here. Right? You hear what I'm saying? So if we haven't gotten 100% raise, right now we're fighting I'm retired, so they're trying to fight from 3% COLA, right? Cost of living increase, right? From 3% to 5%. You won't even give us that. But you raise a damn ticket 5%. Then the property taxes are going up, right? Adams, let's do some rollback, right? These things went up because of whatever happened. Let's do some rollback. Let's talk about rollback, right? I have one friend she's now want me to put a panel together, which I don't have a problem doing. I said I'll do it because I kind of agree with her, right? She wants to put a panel together because as a delivery person, as an independent delivery person, you have to deliver in Manhattan, deliver here. So as a delivery person, you're not looking for parking. You're going to double park and go deliver and come back.
Yeah,
And they get tickets like no tomorrow. So the ticket that you're getting is greater than the money that you're making per day. How does that even make sense? You're ticketing me. You want me to get a job. You don't want me to rob and steal, commit more crimes. But then you tax me as if, right? As if you tax me economically to say it's in the car, literally. Right here. I drove the Corolla, I told you. The one right in front of the house, right in front of the shop.
Thank you.
It's called, Daily. It's called reoccurring revenue.
But that's ridiculous. At some point, maybe we need to run for office to put a stop to this crap.
Oh, not me. Hell no.
Right?
Dr. Brian for office. Yeah. Doc.
All right, Doc. I can hear that. And that's true. Right?
That's true.
No, but on the islands, it's different because the islands banned the cameras. So there are no cameras on the island. But in Manhattan, however, the amount of cameras are different than in Brooklyn. It's right there. Put all the keys together.
They have the red light cameras.
They do. They have red light.
Mm-hmm.
Andre, no, the keys are in there. It's right here. Right? You in Manhattan, and it's an unfair system. We have 30 seconds. Ukraine. Well, how is it not considered a war, dog? Why is it not considered a war?
It is a war. It's very unfortunate to see there is really no basis for the war. And it's men, women, children, their lives have been snuffed out from them, their future, just because of one individual's ego. His ego and his mentality of one of being a totalitarian individual who just wants ultimate control. So, Vladimir Putin he's evil. He is the epitome of evil. He's the epitome of evil to snuff out the lives of individuals for no reason. The only reason is for his own personal satisfaction.
Yeah. And he has committed war crimes. I think that what he did with those people in the hospital, having it getting it bombed, not setting rules.
And with the last 10 sections, you know what's a crime? The way Will Smith smacked the shit out of Chris Rock.
Language, man.
Excuse me. Dr. Brian, what do you think about that?
Wait. I got to touch on the topic before I get to that, because Empress is going to shoot me if I don't get on this topic.
Stop saying shooting. My gosh.
Okay. All right. She's going to beat me up. Is that better?
She's going to lash you, put lashes on your back.
She's going to put lashes on my back. She's mad at Eric Adams. She's because Kyrie Irving.
But no. I'm upset that people are saying that it's Kyrie Irving. It is not about Kyrie Irving. It is about baseball. He didn't switch his
basketball.
No, baseball, because baseball started. Many of them were not vaccinated.
Doc,
so it has nothing to do with Kyrie Irving. Nothing.
Doctor, you know what we need to do is, hopefully we can get it later on. We need to parse the mayor's decision. This decision based upon that. Once we parse it, then you will see the mayor was correct.
About what?
About what?
His decision.
Why?
Just parse it, because what he's calling for equity, and the equity is you allowing other basketball players,
other athletes,
right, who are not vaccinated to come to New York and play, putting our individuals at a disadvantage. Second of all, first of all, there was
our teams, not our individuals. Yeah,
there was a mandate. There was a mandate by the former mayor, and he continued it, where he says you must be vaccinated if you continue to work for the city. And if you can show that if it's a true medical condition, there will be exemptions. He told everyone about this. This was laid out. This was the mandate for him, and this was how do we then tell those individuals who agreed with it? So basically, I'm giving you preference because you chose not to take this vaccine. There's other people who did not want to take it, but they took it because they understand that this was about the benefit of the whole, not the benefit of a few. So, irrespective of the timing, because anytime the mayor would have done it, everybody would have said the same thing. But if you break it down, let's break it down. Let's break the decisions down. Then you'll come and find out what the decision the mayor made was the right decision with respect to that. There was a mandate. They were told to have it. They were told over a period of time, and they made the choice not to have it. It was already established. And this is about equity. So those who chose not to get this vaccine, I should give the benefit as to those who chose to take the vaccine. It's the same, and you switch it. You look at the whole situation with the athletes. It's pretty much the same thing.
Sylvia, we have cameras on the school buses.
Yeah. Oh, going back to the camera conversation. Let me do a real quick. We're gonna come back.
We're gonna come back to it.
We're gonna have to hopefully have enough time to do that. Right?
We're going to a commercial.
You're going to commercial
first. We're gonna go to a commercial. Villagers.
Thank you for sharing, Sylvia.
All right. So just to let you know that on Saturday morning there's be a very important health fair at MS61, partnering with the elite learners, right? And MS61 is at Empire Boulevard, sponsored by our illustrious Congresswoman Yvette Clarke and our newly elected city council member Rita Joseph. And so it's talking about variety of health and wellness services for all ages. I just give a shameless, an unfortunate plug, but I found out that I was borderline high, having high blood pressure by going to a health fair. We had a health fair. I went to it. I found out. So, ladies and gentlemen, please note, come out. It's at MS61, 400 Empire Boulevard. That's right around. It's right across from the 71st Precinct. Which is at New York and Empire Boulevard. Come out, get your health screening, right? Get your health screening and find out what's going on with that. So with that, again, it's sponsored by our Congresswoman. And before I bring our guest up, Andre, before I introduce our new guest, I just want to I'm not going to say anything about it. I just want to read it out. And it is, our scripture reading is sponsored by Janet Dawson, and it's taken from 1 Peter 5, verses 6 through 9. So very, very quick reading. Humble yourself, therefore, unto God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time. Cast all your anxiety on him, because he cares for you. Be self-controlled and alert. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour. Mm-hmm. Resist him, standing firm in the faith, in your faith, because you know that your brothers throughout the world are undergoing the same kind of suffering. So give it on to God's word.
Villagers, resist Mr. Daly. Resist Mr. Daly. Resist Mr. Daly.
All right. So let's bring on
he has no humility, right, Doc?
Oh, you have no idea how much humility I have. So our guest today is none other than
Miss Forbes. How you doing, Miss Forbes?
Oh, hi, John. How are you, Roderick and Dr. Bryant? How are you guys?
And the first question I want to ask you about, what do you think about that slap by Will Smith?
Oh, my God.
What do you Come on. I want to hear it.
John. Okay,
I want to hear about the perfect imperfection. Come on now. Tell me.
Okay.
Come on.
Okay, so
Break it
I
down for
don't
us.
I don't really condone violence, so I really, what Will Smith did was wrong.
Wait,
And but
hold
you
on a
know what
second.
though?
Did you used to beat your children?
Slap here and there, I have to admit.
So what do you mean by you don't condone violence? Just because that's
Okay, Roderick, you got me.
So come on, Miss
You
Forbes. I
got
want to
me.
hear it now. Come
Yeah,
on.
but but what I like was the way that Chris handled it. That was very impressive. He didn't fight back. And I think we taught our children to use words, right? And use your words. And these celebrity, I think that there's so much into Twitter, and everything is out there on Twitter.
Mhm.
I think he could address it on Twitter instead of resorting to violence. So that's my take on that, John.
I just want, honestly, I just want to hear your take because there's so many different things, Miss Forbes, and
Mhm.
I think you are correct. I think Chris Rock, he handled it like a true professional.
I
Hey,
think he did. Yes.
I was playing domino last night and I dropped 3 6 love and I told my boy that I
Oh.
gave him 6 love to. He handled it like Chris Rock. Yo, hold on. I have to laugh because you know how many WhatsApp Jamaican jokes I got about the Chris Rock situation. Like, what's the one with Major Hype? He pulled out his gun until Will Smith to turn around. Where I go, boy? About right? So I'm just wondering. I'm really wondering, Joanne. We're all. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get to but thank you for bringing that up. Right? As all West Indians here,
Mhm.
and remembering that scene from The Four Kings where Bernie Mac, not Bernie Mac. What's the other one? The heavyset one.
No, you mean
Yeah, Bernie Mac, Steve Harvey,
Cedric the Entertainer.
Cedric the Entertainer, where he said, "I'm just going ice skating because I wish you would." I'm just, I'm just wondering how many of us West Indian folks, and then I think the slap he would have gotten away with. The slap, yes, I think any of us who got slapped would have gotten away because you've been in shock. But when the shock wore off, and then all of a sudden, when he's like keeping my wife's effing name out of your mouth, I think after a couple comment,
That's true.
after
You're
a
right.
couple of those
We have to
comment,
do us off camera. We would not be talking about it.
Come
That's
on,
true.
you're right.
that's not true. That's actually not true, Warren. If he got slapped off camera at the Oscars, yeah, we would have been talking about it because everybody would be around. The Crown actress in the past, black women endure too much name for too long over the year they didn't choose. All right, all right.
Thank you for sharing,
The
Ruby.
Crown Act. Oh yes, that's what's in Congress. Thank you for Ruby. So
Thank
let's get to you. Let's. It's funny how all of a sudden these Jamaicans became comedians. Yeah, you're trying to make jokes at me against Simone. What's going on today? um.
And Miss Forbes, one thing I can
Yes, let's
say,
get back to her book.
Like the mayor, it's interesting. I wondered did the mayor read your book because he says I'm perfectly imperfect,
Right.
and that's what he always says. He says I'm perfectly imperfect.
That's actually one of his favorite lines.
That's one of his favorite lines.
Yeah.
So I
So-
think it came
Oh,
from
well.
Miss Forbes.
He probably stole that from me, John.
Yeah. Well, now you're calling the mayor a thief? Whoa! Yo, the first comment
I heard-
that Eileen makes is called Mayor Eric Adams a thief, right? I'm
Well, I
just trying-
heard John talk
Andre.
about
So
two-legged
let's talk
rats.
about the book,
So
'cause Andre's yelling at me back and forth in the studio.
We're going to talk about Miss Forbes' book, but Miss Forbes, we want to talk about what you want to talk about, Miss Forbes. Tell us about you.
okay.
That's
Introduce yourself and
About
tell us
me.
who you are.
Thank
Okay,
you.
so let me first of all, I just want to say thanks for having me. I really appreciate it, and I'm really excited to be here. So my name is Eileen Smith Forbes. I was born on the island of Jamaica. I migrated to the U.S. as a teenager. I went to Thomas Jefferson High School in East New York and on to Kingsborough College. Yes, sir. So I'm a wife, a mother of two children, Evan, my son, and my daughter, Cheyenne. I worked in corporate America, who are both listening, by the way. So, hi, guys. Um, so, I worked in corporate America for about 40 years. And about a year ago, um, they had a restructuring and my job was eliminated. And so I decided I would go back to my passion, my first love, writing. And so that's where Perfect Imperfection came out of being unemployed.
So
Yeah.
so unemployed made you perfectly imperfect because you're unemployed.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know. So you from corporate America to creative writing to literature, it's on a pendulum. It's very far apart, right? So did this just come out of nowhere?
No, I've been writing. Actually, I think I was 12 or maybe 13 when I read my first Hardy Boy and Nancy Drew. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those series, the
I
Nancy
remember
Drew
that.
series.
Yeah.
You remember those, Dr. Brian?
I'm too young to remember Hardy Boys and Nancy.
Okay.
I remember them.
Okay, Roderick. So, I was halfway through my first Nancy Drew book when I realized this is what I wanted to do. And I think I was maybe 13 years old. And, I always have a passion for creative writing. And I remember in high school, I would always be in the library. I graduated from Hardy Boys, Nancy Drew to those Harlequin romance, and was just passionate about it. And I think I completed my first manuscript I think it was about 20 when I completed my first manuscript.
Impressive.
I just didn't have the confidence to put it out there.
Oh
As a
wow.
matter of fact, I have about like 7 manuscripts in my garage right now that I didn't try to get published. And so it was only until about a year ago that I decided, listen, I'm going to try to get this book out there. And it worked. Yeah. And
And
so
now
here
you
we are. Yes.
well,
Thank
congratulations
you.
for going back and picking up something that you have a love and a passion for. Many people
Oh,
tend
thank
to
you.
forget that, but that's what drive people, your passion. You can
Exactly.
job, but a job is just a job. If there's no passion in it, you can forget it. It's pointless. It won't be it's just gonna be work. But when you could stay up at night writing all night, it wouldn't mean anything to you because this is what you love. So thank you for not allowing time to pass for us to get some of your writing in our hand. So that's a great thing.
And so
Thank you,
the
Doc. Thank you,
yeah,
Dr. Brian.
right.
I
So
just
this
want to
is
add, okay, I just
right.
want to add what Dr. Brian said, that no matter what stage you are in life, you can always follow that passion.
Yes.
We I started the show probably 3 years ago, and I was about 47. So I agree with you. Right, John is younger than me, and he started. Um, okay, so Tanya, we're gonna get back to that slap. So I agree with you. So this book initially, let me be honest with you. I'm gonna be brutally honest.
Okay.
When I opened up the book, I was like, I'm not reading this.
And why
Right?
not?
I'm gonna tell you, a couple of things I didn't like about it. I look at it just from the aesthetics, right? I love the
Okay.
title, right?
Okay.
I looked at it, looked at the aesthetics. I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna read this book.
Mm. And then
It took me a while to even pick it up, right?
Okay.
But I gotta tell you something, girl. I picked up the book. I started reading,
Okay.
and I just kept reading. Rock and Shelley, they're a character,
Oh, wow.
right? So I gotta tell you, this book is awesome,
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you
right?
enjoyed it.
So first of all, what it say? What's the expression they say? Don't
never
judge
judge a book
book
by
by
its
its
By
cover.
cover,
its cover.
There you go.
right? Don't
Yes.
ever judge a book by the cover. I haven't completed it yet, but
Okay.
I couldn't stop reading it. I
Oh,
love what was
wow.
going on. I love what's going on in the book. Tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind Perfect Imperfection.
Okay, so I think we all are. We as people always try for perfection, and and I just wanted to show with these character that even though we strive for this, we're not perfect. We make mistake, we mess up, and you see that in Rock, and you see the difference between Rock and Shelley, and I think. One of the reasons why I did the narration between the two character, Rock Shelley, so you get perspective between you get the male perspective and you get the female perspective, just to show the difference between the contrast between Rock and Shelley. Rock, who is so out there, who's so wild, who's so ghetto, and Shelley, who is the proper princess, the way she was raised, and like they say, opposite attract. And so it was hard to see those two together, but they actually came together. So Perfect Imperfection actually tells the story of people who are really messed up, but who can actually you know like survive the things that they've done. Take for instance Rock was, and I don't know if I don't want to give away the story, but Rock was kind of a drug dealer. He was a drug dealer.
So what we
But
talking about? Rude boy read church lady?
exactly, John.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
hold on. Let me
And
go to this. Patrick wants to know where can he purchase your book.
oh, sure. So
So
it's
he,
on
he
my
got he
web.
got right to the point right away.
Oh, sure, Patrick. So you can get it on Amazon. The ebook is on Amazon. The paperback is on Amazon, and you just type in Perfect Imperfection, Eileen Smith Forbes. It will pop up. It's also on my website at eileensmithforbes.com.
What's up, Patrick? How you doing, brother?
Yeah, that's my brother. Patrick, you heard about
Thank,
Andre, right?
thank you, Patrick.
All right. Oh, and also just I want to highlight Veronica Peterson. You need to do. She literally just started her thing, and she's retired like you, and then she started her thing as well.
That's
I also want
awesome.
to give a shout out to Miss
That's
Richardson.
awesome.
Thanks for watching the show, Miss Richardson.
Right. So bless up. All right. So let's get back. So you have two characters who are opposite end of the spectrum, right?
Right.
Sound like myself and my wife, right? We're on opposite opposite end, of the spectrum, and and getting to get a better understanding of their relation, the dynamics. So
Mhm.
one of my question is, you have chapter 1 is Rock, chapter
Right.
2 is Shelley, chapter 3 is Rock, chapter 4
Right.
is Shelley. Everybody get the point all the way to the end of the book.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you
Right.
decide to title it like that?
Okay. So I
I
wanted,
mean,
like I said.
title the chapters like that.
Okay, so that's what I wanted. I wanted to do the narration between the two characters, Rock and Shelley. So, men don't like to read, and sometimes when you,
Hold up.
okay,
Rewind.
no,
Come again. What you said? Just once.
Yo,
no
wait,
offense,
wait,
John, no offense,
Eileen, you
Ron,
came
but
on the show. You called Eric. What's you call Eric Adams? What? A liar, a thief. And then she said, "Men don't. I like you. You can come back anytime." So men don't like to read. Gotcha.
right. And so that's why I wanted to tell the story, not only from the perspective of a woman, but from also a male perspective, right? Just so to get men to start reading, get men to actually get into the mind of the guy, And oftentimes when we read book, we just read it from one perspective, from the female perspective, right? So now you have the male perspective, and I think it makes it more interesting. And people can
Man,
identify,
boy, she
with the
slapped it
character.
down like,
Yeah.
whoa.
I also like the fact that your characters are from New York, and they
Right.
seem like real people.
Oh,
One's from
yes.
Brooklyn. So like one character, like you said, like the female is from this premium proper, but she had her problems, right? She had her problems with her
Right.
mother, right? She was her daddy's girl, and she believed that her mother hated her, right? And then you had a guy who was just struggling, right? Struggling to make it.
Hmm.
You know, and let me go. So your perspective of telling it to get from both sides. What was the
Right.
inspiration to write it?
Okay. So there's so much issues out there, and when you read the book, you see it can incorporate a lot of that. Like there's policing, there's mental health,
Hmm.
Oh,
it's
with
so
Joanne's favorite topic.
relatable.
All
I'm
right,
sorry.
right. No, mental health. Joanne's favorite topic.
Why do
Okay.
you say
What she did with your crazy ass.
thank you, John? Oh my.
And there's parenting and there's relationship, not only relationship between Rock and Shelley, but relationship between mother daughter, father son, because I brought in the little boy Ace, who is Rock's son, and you see
Right.
the dynamic between them. So it covers a whole array of but it also speak to life lessons like forgiveness, understanding, love, so it's well rounded and everybody can take away something from it.
What, Miss Forbes, I think you talk about well-rounded. One
Mhm.
thing that it seems that we have a difficult time with is forgiveness. Just for forgiving our brothers and
Absolutely.
sisters. You do something against me, we hold it as a grudge. And I always tell somebody if Jesus can forgive us for our sins, who am I? Or God, who am I to not forgive, to hold such grudges against one another? That negative energy in and of itself just takes so much out of you. Sometimes we
Absolutely.
need to understand, let go and let God, but it's hard because we always want to be controlling. It's just like your book. It's like, you have those, you have the rude boys such as Mr. Daly, and then you got the Shelley, the other character, just trying to basically steer through the world, or just to be able to travel through the world and to deal with the pitfalls, the up and downs. But it also comes back to what you talk about, your faith, forgiveness,
Hmm.
just to appreciation, humility, which Roderick doesn't have. But we keep trying to every week on the village to try to help him with his humility. You know. So these
So
are the things that we constantly try to put in his head. Sophia, Andre, and ourselves. But we understand, Miss Force. We understand.
Right. So in other words, Roderick is imperfect, right? And
Kumbaya, man. All right, all right, all
But
right,
he think he perfect.
all right. All right. I hear you.
good night, John.
John brought up some very good points. Cause Rock also is very prideful, right? That's one of his.
right.
Is very very prideful about what is going on with him, right? Very very prideful about that. And tell us a little bit more of Perfect Imperfection. Tell us, um, tell us the title. Who is perfect? Who is imperfect? Or is this something you don't want to let out the secret?
Okay. So I don't want to give, for people who haven't read the book yet, I
Right.
don't want to give away too much, but Shelley have this opinion of her dad that she kind of put him on this pedestal. She think that he's perfect, he's a preacher, and you know what they say about preacher's kid, right? Right. He's a
I am a
preacher.
pre-K. Watch. I am a PK. Watch it.
So you know
Oh,
what?
you
You
are
rest
peak.
that case right
Oh,
there.
okay.
Yeah.
You rest
All
that case right there.
right. Oh, did you just say you rest your case
You
right
rest
there?
our case right there.
I feel you.
Exactly. Perfect example.
and
Yes.
and so
Yeah.
Roger, so you must know that people always look at you and wonder, oh my God, he's a PK. Why is he acting like that? Right?
Right.
I'm sure
Yeah.
Dr. Brian and John are probably saying, are you PK? Why are you acting like that? Right?
We never,
I,
we never,
I
we
won't
never
say it.
believed it. We
You never
never believed.
believe it.
Mhm.
It's hard to believe. Yeah,
right. But it works, right? It works.
it
So
works. Yeah.
okay. Um.
Question before you go. Your characters. What
Right.
made you decide that this was the character I want to use? Is it from experience? Is it from, is there a reason why you form your characters? Or you sometimes people watch people and they determine, hey, I'm gonna create it based on this experience or knowing this family member. Is that a personal thing or fictional?
Oh, it's fictional. I have a vivid imagination, and that's one of the reasons why I never title a book or my manuscripts before I complete it, only
Mhm.
because of the boundaries. When you give a title to a book, you tend to write within the constraint of that title. But I
Mhm.
like the free will. I just like my imagination to flow, and those are all imaginary characters. Has nothing to do with real life.
But it's very
Now,
realistic, very, very
real
realistic what people are dealing with on a daily basis because it is,
exactly.
yeah, you.
But I know one of them is Jamaican because his name is Roxton. His name is
Uh,
Roxton. So if his name is Roxton, that's definitely not an American name. But he lives in New York, right? Roxton.
Yeah,
Um,
but the author is Jamaican, so maybe that's where the name came from.
I got you. I mean, it's an interesting get. I want to ask you about Herbert Smith Foundation and its impact to Jamaican community. Just to bring
Okay.
us around a little bit.
Mhm.
Okay. So, my dad passed away several years ago, but he always stressed the importance of community, of giving back. And so, it was only natural when he passed away for me to start something in his memory. And I created this foundation, just to honor him. And what we do is we raise money, and it's actually grassroots. Family donate, friends donate, and we try to raise money every year to for two organizations in Jamaica. One is a church, and the other is a community center in Trenchtown. And we just don't give away the money for free. I have the kids write essay to us. My daughter, who is the coordinator, she'll read the essay. She'll pick a winner, and then we'll send them the prize money. But even if they don't win, we give them a prize just for entering, because
Mhm.
sometimes we have to teach these kids that it's not all about winning. Sometimes just trying. So that's what we do, and it's been successful so far. We've been doing it for about 10 years.
Miss
Yeah.
Forbes, and
Yeah.
Miss Forbes, that's what it's all about.
Mhm.
We appreciate you coming on the village tonight. And what we try to do is we just try to have an open dialogue and open discussion. We don't
Okay.
believe in having prepared statements or questions for you. We just want you to talk to the people. We want you this is we want the natural flow. We want to feel you. And tonight I can say, I appreciate the time that you've taken to answer the questions, and just your energy and your spirit.
Mhm.
Not
Oh,
rehearsed, a
thank
little
you.
question. It was just free flowing. And you know what? This is the epitome of a great writer.
Oh, thank you,
Yeah.
John.
The
Thank you.
epitome of a great writer. So
I
I just had to say that.
aw.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I
I have a
appreciate it.
question for you before you leave.
Sure.
In regards to writing this process and taking that leap of faith and publishing and getting out there, what's your
Right.
next step? Are you going to continue doing it? And did it open up? What did you learn about yourself in that
Oh my
process?
God, so much. I mean, it spoke so much to my confidence. I am actually 27 chapters into my new book. So hopefully next year you guys can have me on to discuss
Okay.
that. No topic yet, but it
I
has to
No
do
I,
with,
topic or no title.
I can
no,
give
I'm
you
sorry, no title yet. I'm sorry.
I can give you a good topic, or just a good framework for a book.
Uh-huh.
It's
Go ahead.
three
Oh.
hosts.
One of them have a big head.
One of them whose ego is beyond.
He's talking about himself, by the way. He's talking about himself.
I just said.
I have an audience question. A couple questions.
Sure.
One is, what did you learn about the characters after writing the book? What did you learn about yourself? after writing the book?
Okay. I see so much of Shelley in me after I finish writing the book. Uh,
You're a PK too?
no.
Mhm.
But I struggle with perfection. Everything has to be perfect. And you have to learn that sometimes you just have to mess stuff up. The towels doesn't have to be straight in the bathroom. You know, there's room for imperfection. So there's a lot of Shelley, that I took away.
And it's perfect. We are perfectly imperfect.
All right.
Exactly, exactly.
The
Yes.
next question is, what do you think happened to the characters after the book ended?
That's a sequel.
That's
We
a
just have to
sequel,
wait and
exactly.
see.
Come
I'll
on, you
say
know
it's,
better than that, man. Where you ask that
nah,
question?
well,
You know better
again,
than that, man.
the question is, wait, I'm sorry, Eileen.
Yes,
Eileen,
sir.
this is the question that I'm asked. So now you're going to say there's a sequel, right?
Yes, there's a
Okay, all
sequel.
right. So there's a sequel to Perfect Imperfection 2, right?
Yes.
And so which of the characters I asked you that question already? Or which of the characters, I did ask you that question, right?
Mhm.
Um, okay, I
You
did
asked
ask
the
you that.
question already, man.
No, they did. So and so one of the things that I want to make sure that people understand, by purchasing this book, you also help the foundation, right?
Yes.
They work together to do that. Again, the book is Perfect Imperfection by Eileen. I keep saying Eileen. I don't know. I don't know. Eileen Smith Forbes, right? And
Yes.
right? And so empowering individuals to do what you have to do at any point. At any point, and it goes along with what our motto is here, right? Where we say helping each one of us in realizing our dreams at any age, at any point, starting from today. So you're doing that, and thank you, Patrick, for ordering that today and getting it done. This book is the bomb. It's also an easy read, right? So which makes it even more beautiful to go through.
And
And
brothers, let's prove Miss Forbes wrong. Let's just get that book and read it. Let's prove
oh man,
Miss
oh the black man,
Forbes
yes,
wrong.
black man.
Brothers,
You
get
know,
out there and get that
by
book.
the way, all of my principal out, it's very clean, it's very real, it's very good for your young people, middle school, high school, reading. And I love Ace, by the way. Ace is a great little character in that book.
Oh,
All right. So I want to thank you for joining us today, Miss Smith, Miss Forbes, and thank you for following your dreams and becoming that author, and also working through the foundation. And you say we could get the book on what? Amazon?
Amazon. Yes, by just putting in the title and my name, Eileen Smith
What's
Forbes.
what's the title?
Perfect
What's the name of the title?
Imperfection. Perfect Imperfection by Eileen Smith Forbes.
Okay, awesome.
And
Thank
the
you
the
for joining us.
ebook or the paperback.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. I would say get the
Okay.
paperback. Get the paperback because you can't put it down. So I don't know if you could download ebooks now. I don't even know.
Yeah, you can
Yes,
get on your
you can do.
phone.
So when you're on the
You
plane, all
can.
right. So this great read, great read. Thank you so much. God
Well,
bless and have
thank
a
you
great
guys. Thank
Thank
you for
you.
having me.
day. You're
Appreciate it.
welcome.
For
Take
joining
care.
us.
Bye-bye.
Mhm.
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Now let's get back to that slap, man. Come on.
All right. So let's go back to Tanya's comment. All right. Let's go back up. Scroll back up. Can you pull up? Here it is. So Tanya wrote, I believe that slap sent you back in history. It confirmed many stereotypes that people have about us. It undermined everything we are asking for. On the night where it was the first of many things for our culture, he disgraced with his violent behavior for something I believe was not too disrespectful. I believe his wife brought him more disrespect than Chris Rock comments. And one of the big things that people talk about, yeah, you slapped him because it was March and it's not August, right? And and that's all about the sexual escapades of his wife, because it's out there that she is not monogamous, right?
So but I want to hear, Doc. I want to hear your point of view.
About the slap.
Yeah, Doc.
About the whole
About the
situation.
whole situation.
Well, first of all, I would not allow my spouse to jump on stage to carry out like a fool. If he needed to say or to,
Wait, you just offended Andre.
No. Hold on. Let her finish, please. Let her finish,
if
please.
he needed to defend me or want to defend me, that would be off stage, not. And the world was watching. Where did I find out? From Japan. Japan was posting it on Facebook. I was like, what is this? So now I kind of agree with what Tanya said. It Do not allow people to say, hey, you know what? This is what we expected from them. This is, of course, there's always going to be a stereotype because you're Black. You always have to work extra hard. You always have to do better. Try. It's been years and years. He's been up for the Oscar. He never got it. Finally, that day have arrived and you're about to go up. Take your stage, but that's not the way you want to grace the stage and then come back. So your positive is overlooked over any negative. The negative will be blown up to the biggest, that's the most important thing, because people are quick to bring you down than to celebrate you. So before you take an action, if my spouse decided to run on stage, I'll be grabbing on to him before he made that, because you're embarrassing not only yourself but every Black individual who work hard to accomplish, especially organization that really don't
And
celebrate us
at the
enough.
end of the night, he won the best Oscar.
Yeah, but at the end of the day now, any way to take away that credit, and other people who actually was the first Black for creating roles and directing and producing, that was overlooked because of that. So the negative overlooked the many first for Black people.
I want to talk to Lupita Nyong'o because she sat literally in the middle. Because if you watch all the clips, he laughed at the joke.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
No, she didn't like the joke. You saw the look in her face that she didn't like it. Immediately, she rolled her eyes.
But here, they wanted to arrest him over that.
But it is an assault, right? It's menacing.
It is.
But hold on. So my thing is, what flipped the script? Andre thinks it's like a delayed reaction.
But what I haven't seen a video where he actually look over on her. I haven't seen a video of that. Because
you wouldn't see that, because now you see the flip to them when he made the joke. What transpired between after he made the joke and move on to something else and then walk up to the stage? We don't know.
I think it's a build-up from being calm for the last 2+ years. And then everything.
That's what people saying too. Like it's a build-up. I'm tired.
Chris Rock is a good target. Everybody hates Chris.
And it's national television. So I'm seizing my moment. You're saying something, John.
I think it was truly a disgraceful act because he basically blew it, not only for himself and his wife, for every other person of color, especially being that this was the first time in the history of the Oscars you had an all Black production.
Mm-hmm.
That got lost.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing. What also got lost that he won the Academy Award for the Best Actor.
Right.
All got lost.
It was overshadowed. Absolutely. You're absolutely correct.
It was overshadowed for the diversity. You had 3 co-hosts.
Mm-hmm.
You had 3 co-hosts.
3 Black co-hosts.
3. You have 1 white.
2 Blacks. Yeah, 2 Blacks.
But all 3 women.
Yes, that's true.
All 3 women. And we got lost into the moment. It's you don't understand the magnitude of the moment. And of all people, Will Smith should understand the magnitude of the moment. He initially laughed at the joke. And it wasn't until he looked over to his wife, who didn't take it, at that point in time, he felt he had to do something. That something could have been done afterwards. It didn't have to be done in front of that. But I give a lot of credit to Chris Rock for the professionalism that he exhibited. Because if that was a lot of other people, if that was a Tracy Morgan or a Dave Chappelle, it would have been
Ugly.
an all-out brawl at that point on the stage.
That brings you to a point. And thank you for bringing that up. Dope no hoe for frightened. That's the expression we use in Jamaica. I don't know if how you translate that in Creole or what expression you use in Guyanese, in Guyana. But dope no hoe for frightened. He looked at Chris Rock and said that I could disadvantage him.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said,
A
Dave
bullet
Chappelle
mentality.
wasn't gonna. You'd have had Cedric the Entertainer, right? Would have had a different response. I think you're right. Dope know exactly who to frighten.
All right.
And Warren asked an interesting
Oh,
question.
oh.
Are we upset
idea.
about the slap or the public display? Right? And then he also put up liquid courage makes people do crazy things. That's true too, right? Oh, monkey know what tree to climb. All right, thank you, Jennifer. Right. Right. So that's
my big sister. Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Right.
Monkey know what tree to climb.
Yeah. And I think that's actually real, right? That he you know, and like I told people, yes, you're gonna slap me because you get that moment of, did he just slap me? That moment, and he walked away. It's not like he slapped him, stayed there, and like it was calculated. He slapped him and walked away. Got back to his seat. That was a punk.
But no, he walked away in character. That's the interesting thing.
No, that's not what I'm saying. Right? I'm saying that it was a punk move because if I slap John, I'm gonna talk to John in his face. I'm not gonna wait back to get to, it's like the two kids who don't want to fight, but they start arguing and they start making loud noise so you can come out of your office because they don't want to fight anyway. Right? They just want to make sure that you know that there's something happening so you can stop it. Because if you think about it, he slapped him, walk up there. John, you slapped me right here, right? Boom. You're going to walk away and wait till you're 10 feet away and say, stop talking about whomever. Think about that.
I'm not going to slap you anyway.
No, but I get that. But in reality, if the physical interaction or even the verbal, it's right in front of you. After some point, you might walk away and continue the conversation, but you don't wait till you walk away and have the convo. That's punk.
Warren, like you said, I think a lot of people with the public display.
Patrick Cole, the mic would have been upside his head. Right? Yeah. You that's exactly right, Jennifer. Yeah. You know?
Well,
John would drop kick you. What is John in the WWE? Our next guests are here, so let's bring them on. Let's bring up Single Parent University first. Bring them on screen and then bring up Single Parent University. So, ladies and gentlemen, just to know that our show is brought to you. The Village Talk Show is brought to you in part by the Single Parent University. It has open admissions currently. Right. So we do Single Parent University. So please, personal development. It's about mindful parenting. It's about support seminar for you as a single parent, how to manage your finances, nutrition and wellness, free session, childcare, transportation, social hub, help you to resume writing, cover letter, career exploration, and legal assistance. Please call 646-779-6767, or you can text SPU to 71441. Again, SPU, which is a single parent university. If you're a single parent, do reach out. All right. Our next guests, Abdullah is not here yet. He is here, but he's not on screen. Welcome, Miss Abdul is here, Andre. Welcome to both of you, Miss Montrose Marijo Montrose
Montrose,
and
Mary
Abdullah
Jo.
Ilyas.
It's okay.
Hello.
Good evening.
Thanks for
Hello.
having me.
Thank you for joining us this evening.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Please, please, please introduce yourself to our villagers.
Wow.
I'll put you on the spot, right?
You
Well,
put me on-
let's start with Miss Montrose first.
Well, good evening, gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening, lady, Dr. Bryant. My name is, my formal name is Marie-Josée Montrose. But it's easier when we say Marie-Jo Montrose because then it's easier for people to pronounce and understand. Well,
I'll call you Triple M. That's what I'll call you.
okay, that's fine.
Triple
That's fine, Senator Simpson. That's fine. I am Haitian born, a mom, a Brooklyn resident for a long time.
The Triple M. You see how he had Dr. Brian smile? She
You
smiled.
see,
Smiled.
you see, I am a long term, I would say lifelong advocate for human rights, diaspora rights, healthcare advocate also. My former career was at Interfaith Medical Center for 24 years.
God bless you.
I left as administrative director of community and government affairs, and presently, for about a year now, April 4th next month, I have been at Flatbush Kitten Market, now known as Flatbush Central. And I say /Urban because Urban Development Corporation is the company that manages the market and the business. So I'm happy to be here to talk to you about what I consider to be a renaissance. Some of you on the panel and some of the auditors might know about the market. The market has been here in Brooklyn for over 20 years, but has been moved temporarily from 2017 and returned to the same location in 2022. So we've been back February 1st with a soft opening, and we are planning a grand opening on May 13th and 14th. And definitely we hope to have all of you on the panel with us on one of these 2 days. And it's a pleasure to talk about it. It's a new beginning. It's new opportunities for Brooklyn, new resources for the community. I'm here with my colleague, my buddy Abdul Elias. We call him Abdul. You know, we leave the rest of it. Abdul is our director of the Mangrove, and he will explain to you a little bit what the Mangrove is. The Mangrove is actually at Flatbush Central, and you will understand by the end of this program that the Flatbush Central is composed of the market, the original market that we call, you know, the market up front, and in the back, we have a lot of surprises for you. I don't want to go into them. I'll let Abdul go into that a little bit later. But it's a pleasure to be here. I have been following your show. Should I out you, Juju? I call her Juju because that's my little girl right here. I can out her.
Juju. Oh, my little Juju. Hey, John. Juju. Let's put it in the notes, right? Little Juju.
Do that. You can do that.
Hi, Juju.
Don't put that in your archives. You know, so you know, I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah. Roger, you say that one time.
Juju.
Oh, my
Little
God.
Juju.
Oh my
Oh, little
God.
Juju. All right, Mr. Abdul, go ahead, introduce yourself. Show us a little bit.
I mean, Joe did a great job introducing already. So, I mean, I'm an artist and designer. I've worked in socially engaged design and community development for 15 years. Most of my work was in Philadelphia and then in London. And I joined the team about a year and a half ago. And I've been supporting developing the systems around how we can create business incubation spaces inside of the market. So the Mangroves remit is around small business development in food, body care, and design. So looking at the full entrepreneur from doing your feasibilities startup to moving into going into retail or going into bricks and mortar or all of those different elements. And we have a unique program around how to upskill yourself and then also provide workspace for small businesses in the area. And it's directly for people in Flatbush in 11226, 11225, and Greater Brooklyn as they come. But first come is always Flatbush. So.
But you know, Abdul, you talk about first come, first serve, Flatbush. You know, in order for, especially in our communities, for that market to survive, and I remember from its inception, going back to Roy Hastick, going back to Councilwoman
Una Clark, yeah.
Clark, you know, and in order for businesses to thrive in our community, not only that we have to support it, we want other communities to come in and support it, so we can have our dollar continually to generate in our community. Because some things that I have noticed in our communities, we don't spend enough of our money in our own communities to support.
Exactly.
So that's why it's important that we promote outside of our communities to show other communities the benefits of coming into our communities to spend their money.
That's true.
Absolutely. And the idea behind the market is that we can develop businesses in the mangrove, and then they can then be selling inside of the market, inside of the food hall, inside of those spaces. So the idea is to test them and move them in those spaces and then transmit them out as well.
Do they have a mentor with them? Will that be part of the proposal, that a mentor is attached to
Absolutely.
the part? Okay.
Absolutely. And we're also developing some workforce development programs, some externship opportunities for people to move in and gain other skills and learn from people that are seasoned in the field.
And what is the age group in regards to? So would this be something that would target high school students as well? You know, maybe junior high school students, or is it only adult based? Because we have younger entrepreneurs now more than ever.
Absolutely. So, I mean, there's tiered programming around where you're at and what stage you're at. So the incubator itself is more geared towards people in their like later younger people. So people that are in their 20s, 30s, and then onwards. But the workforce development and internship programs and skills development are geared towards younger people.
Okay. But wait. I need you guys to reconsider and go lower age, because having teenagers as entrepreneur that's costing their parents an arm and a leg is something that parents would actually appreciate. Me
Absolutely.
being 100%, you know, for my kids to learn the value of what it takes to be an entrepreneur at a young age, so that they don't become too much of a consumer, but they actually are the producers. So that's important to get them at a younger age.
Absolutely. I think the issue is startup capital, right? So if you're a teenager, how much money do you have access to develop your business, right? So
parents, trust me, parents.
Right. Your parents are then the burden of the it's actually your business, your parents are funding a business. So but yeah, like I fully agree with you. And we don't have age limits on the intake. It's just that's kind of where we're geared them at based on the relationships that we're building around that. But
so Abdul or Miss Marie, Marijo.
Okay, wait. I have to stop you. Her name is Mary Jo. That's my godmother. So Mary Jo is her name.
Okay. So
Juju, man.
okay,
Mary
Lulu
Jo,
Shushu.
Mary
Okay,
Jo.
okay, Lulu Shushu. So it's actually like married. It's like it's two names pronounced as
My Joe.
Marijo.
Yes.
Okay, so both of you, I want to touch a little bit on Dr. Brian's question, further develop the idea of mentorship and entrepreneurship, right? And through the Caton market, right? Through the Caton market and its advisories council, will you plan to have classes, right? And those classes I think would benefit any age group of individual who want to start up their own business. How do you get access to capital? Because everybody's not going to be rich like was it Little Shushu, right? Right.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Everybody's not going to have starter capital for, like Little Shushu over there. And they might need to have access to grants, loans, MWBE funds, and whatever the small business administration funds. So will you be providing, and this is local for those of you who are in New York City, who are listening to a show that's in New York City, I have family and friends in New York City who are interested in entrepreneurship. So, I mean, our audience is is international and national. So I don't want to make it seem like we're just here in New York, but you might have somebody who's in New York that they're interested in doing their own business and say, right, and say, you gotta hide Juju. Juju, can you lend the capital? Abdul is cracking up over there. So to help students who are not at the age, or not students, people who don't understand true entrepreneurship and also financial literacy in terms of how to gain access to this money, and something to think about through the Caton market.
I will. May I? I'll do the first part of the answer. I'll take it, and Abdul probably will complete it, because the first part belongs to my role as a community engagement person. And what the role entails is really to engage with the community and bring out the information about the resources that we have at Flatbush Central. So we talked about, we went straight into the entrepreneurship, but Abdul probably will expand about the design lab, which contains, the textile, sewing, production, I don't want to say electronic production, internet and podcasts, and also, the body care lab for organic products relating to body care, shampoo, soap, body butter, anything organic, natural, body care, and plus the entrepreneurship classes. So for the classes, we are now going through establishing a curriculum that Abdul is setting up, and we are all reviewing it in-house, but it's not something that will be set in stone. It has to go with the community needs. So eventually, as people come in, we will survey the groups that come in, and then we will find out where the interest lies. And I like, I like that Dr. Brian asked about the age range, because we may be looking at the demographics, let's say from 25 to 55. And like, we know a lot of young people also might be interested. One example that I can give is there is a program at Erasmus High School, a cooking program that we would like to bring in, because we also have a commercial kitchen, a kitchen for rent, okay, a three-section kitchen for rent, and also a test kitchen where you actually can come in, not only learn, produce, uh, get, get videotape and produce your own show. Abdul is more of the expert in that. He can expand on that. So there is a lot going on in the mangrove, but the importance of the mangrove lies with people coming in and using what is there. The services will be there. For the textile, we already have an agreement with the Parsons School of Design. They will be there. So people need to come in. So we will rely on you guys to help us spread the word as I go out and spread the word. Have people come in, choose what they want to do, and be accompanied, like hand in hand, hand to hand. So this is the purpose. In For the market itself, the market part, I'm happy to report that whomever left the market in 2017, whomever was moved to 2184 Clarendon, returned to 2123 Keaton Avenue, minus some vendors that we lost due to COVID, some vendors who elected not to return. But what we have now is the group of legacy vendors, people who left and returned with us. The rent has been frozen since 2009. There is a great deal that the rent cannot be raised for the legacy vendors until they either retire or maybe they pass away, and they do have the opportunity to transfer that business to a successor, which they have done already. So they returned. We are continuing to work with them in order to accompany them to make sure that they can make extra money, because the word really is community wealth building.
And you know what? You know what, Ms. Montrose, I just want to say, and I appreciate what you just said
Mm-hmm.
about community wealth building. And one of the things that's really important is the education of those vendors. We don't need vendors to repeat the same. We don't need 4 or 5 vendors doing the same thing.
Right.
Mm.
Duplication.
You've been to the market.
You've been to the market. That's why you say that.
From the inception, yes.
That's why you say that. Well, I will be frank, saying that it's still a fight. It is still a challenge, if not a fight, but it is a challenge, because our vendors, demographic wise, belong to a certain age category. They don't change easily. It takes a lot of massaging to kind of convince them that, to bringing new products. We are trying. We have vendors who are more up to date. They are more apt to receive the information that they need to consider new products, consider getting into a new line of offerings. But we also have some, I would say, they're still hardcore. They want to keep to the same old, same old, same old.
And
So
there's nothing wrong with keeping to the same old. But I think the important thing, like you're saying, Abdul was saying, it's more about learning about marketing,
yes.
learning about branding. Let me help you do that.
Mhm.
Maybe you can have people doing the same thing, but you can do it differently, and you can go for a different market, a different,
A
so
different
that's
age
why
group and so
age
forth.
group.
That's
So that's why it's
that's a
important.
big part of the work that we've been doing over the last, well, Mary Jo and I, over the last year and a half, and prior to that, over the last 4 years, is working with them on their branding, on their social media presence, on looking at other venues for sale. And because a lot of the products that they have, actually are really high quality. They're good enamelware, spices, clothing product, and things of that nature. And it's just about finessing it just a little bit to update that to the new retail consumer. Um,
they have to remember that during COVID, everything shut down. So their mindset has to change as well. You know, COVID, unfortunately, the pandemic taught us so many things that just because you're in a physical building doesn't mean that it must, you know, you're not in a physical building doesn't mean that your business must stop. You have to restructure, refocus, and do it a way where you can aim and hit more people, and just sell yourself, sell what it is that you're bringing and putting out there. And that's where the younger market comes in, because here it is, you have more and more entrepreneurs that was created during the pandemic, um, that are doing a whole lot better,
Yes.
some of our seniors who
Mm-hmm.
have been doing it for years. So I love the fact that you guys are incorporating the high schools into it, and also bringing in the college, Parsons School of Design, because we have more people who are not going to go the route of, hey, we're going to take the 4-year college, or we're going to go and invest all this money on loans. But hey, let me teach you something in a process. Let me help you build yourself as an individual, learn some skills, and learn, you know, your passion, like our guest from earlier. Hey, whatever their passion is, if you're passionate about it, take it. Learn more how to market yourself, learn more how to put a business plan together, and find funding and grants, and go for it. So definitely.
I think the way that we're looking at it too is it's fully action driven, it's hands on, it's working directly with people. And I think like especially if you're looking at fields of design in media and in cooking, it's you have to, you're only learning on the job. The things that you learn inside of a college or in a university, they're great on paper, but they
Right.
don't translate into the workforce.
Right, what you
So a lot
said.
of the work that we're doing for the curriculum and for the skills building and the workshops, they're all hands-on workshops. So you'll be touching things and working directly with people under them to develop processes on how to develop those things more fully. So
And thank you, Abdullah. I should also mention that right before the move, we had a series of business classes, business training classes for the vendors. So they went through a period of workshop series, 17 series covering from, you know, why am I in business, marketing, how to calculate your price, you know, customer service, cleanliness, the laws of the state of New York regarding business, small business administration, um,
Taxes.
you know, I mean, really merchandising, really every basic regarding, I mean, food protection, everything. We had it in English, and we had it in Creole. I was lucky enough to have been the instructor for the Creole cohort, and you know, we had a good time. So we're moving, we're moving on, and now it's to take all of this information and really put it into practice. And one thing Senator Simpson said, I will give one simple example of that. One vendor sells a whole bag of Haitian sea salt for $2. A whole bag. Now I take that same bag, I divide it in two, but I put it in a very nice craft brown paper bag with a window. I put a nice label made by Abdul, Haitian sea salt, Flatbush Central. I go out to a fair. I sell that bag of salt for $7. So when I come back to the market, I give it to her. I say, Madam so and so, here is it. I sold 6 bags for you, 6 times 7. Here is your money. She cannot believe it. It's $6 for her. It would have been $6 for her, but I'm giving her $42. So it's like to explain to them, to expand the
Marketing
vision.
is important. Yeah.
Marketing is important. Presentation is important.
Absolutely.
Him, you said it concise and succinctly.
Mhm.
That is the problem in our
community. Yes.
that
Yes, sir.
is the problem because we do not take the effort to listen. First of all, we don't take the effort to be open-minded,
Mm-hmm.
to listen to those who can help us, because we always think there's some scam or something going on,
Mm-hmm.
to change.
Mhm.
We work extremely hard. We have that hard work ethic. But what we tend to be is we tend to be stubborn in our ways,
Yes.
not open-minded to listen to others.
Mm-hmm.
And what you just said, $2, repackaging, making it look nice,
Mm-hmm.
going outside of the community, selling it for more.
Yes. And
So
people are happy to buy it.
people will happy to buy it. Then they want to know, where did you get it from? So then those people, they then come to the market. And then we no longer have to go outside of the market because the people have come to the market and we can charge $7 for that. So,
You know, I the market, John touched on it at the onset about Roy Hastick and the Caribbean and Khaki and
Mm-hmm.
Kamba and Una Clark and Yvette Clark. Tell us, with this new market, right? Tell us the roles that those organizations play in it, and what new organizations are involved in the new organizations or figures that are involved in the construction of new market. One of the things that you said, for example, is that legacy rent will be stabilized, right? And that's important, and that can be passed on. But where the market is, if for those of you who don't know, is that Caton and Flatbush Avenue. Caton was at Parkside is on one side, and Caton is on the other side. So that rent is expensive, right? And for to have stabilized rent there, who are some of these maybe former persons working with it and new persons working it to help you to maintain economic strength, to allow people, to vendors who otherwise couldn't have afforded to go out there to sell and to do it legally, by the way, because this is, you have to go through a proper channel. Yeah,
Can I, can I cover just the first part around the financial stuff, and then Mary Jo can go on to the other part? So we've also put in place a food hall, which has 5 food hall vendors. So there is majority of them are from the area. Also, like the furthest one out is from Crown Heights. And they're majority Caribbean food hall and food producers as well. But that's one revenue generator. We're using a performance-based rent, so it starts at 12% and then goes tiered down from that. So that's one revenue generator. We also have 2 bars which are coming online, which is the Lakai Lounge. Mari Jo named that one, and then we have the Rude Gal. The bar is full liquor license, tavern license. Yes, the Rude Gal as well.
Rude Gal.
The Wood Gal Bar.
The Rude Gal Bar, and that was named by our young man that was working with us. Big up Jarrell for that name. He was our summer intern, and he's from Lenox and down by Lenox and Rogers or something around there. And those 2 spaces are revenue generators for the space, so they can reduce the cost for some of the legacy vendors. We're also looking at some other parts of it too. So I'll just say that part, and Mari Jo knows a lot more about the other parts too.
Well,
I want to ask you quickly, in regards to what piqued my interest was the hall that you have, where people can actually create their own video on what they're cooking, and also the fact that caterers or vendors can actually come in, because in order for you to actually cater properly, you're not supposed to be doing it in your house.
Absolutely not.
Protection thing, a licensed kitchen is what you're supposed to rent out. And there was one on Washington Avenue years ago that I used that had shut down, of course, because they sold everything. So it's nice to hear that there is a commercial kitchen that people can, who are catering, can go and rent out, because not all restaurants or stores or whatever would rent out to caterers. So that is an advantage for people who do have a catering business to go out, and it's legal. So if anything happens, if you get food poisoning or whatever, that's where it was prepared. And that was the reasoning and the law behind that.
Absolutely. So we have a membership-based commercial kitchen that's there. That, like Mari just said, there's three hot bays, and then there's 5 cold stations for making baking, doing portioning, things like that. We have state-of-the-art equipment. We have rationales, which are their combination ovens with steaming, convection, and baking inside of them.
Nice.
It's all brand new. We also have the pop-up tasting room, which is designed to do pop-ups, to do small dinners, to do a demonstration kitchen, and it has high definition video cameras which go directly back into the design lab, where you can edit the video live and you can put it out into the world, or you can use it for later. All of those spaces are available, and we have you need to have your department of health licensing, and that we have some courses around supporting you to get into those things as well. So yeah, I mean, I worked in restaurants for 10 years prior to getting into other things. And yeah, it's a lot of work, and catering is really difficult when you don't have the proper equipment to do it. I'm gonna tell you that myself.
All right. Thanks, Eileen. I'll take the second part of the question, which I may only be able to answer, in part, just because 20 years ago I wasn't there. But yes, the market in its inception by Dr. Clark has been managed by CACI, the Caribbean Chamber of Commerce. And they did manage it till the market moved to Clarendon. Prior to the move, definitely there were some agreements, because there was a sale from the city of New York to the developer, BRP, Development Corporation, and BRP then hired a management company to manage the market. And that management company is our employer, Abdul and I. It's Urban Development Corporation. And Urban is a company made of young people, focusing on economic development, managing projects throughout the states, here in New York, and also they are present in Philadelphia. So Urban is now the manager. The market has been rebuilt with 255 apartments upstairs. So it's no longer the original one floor. We still occupy the floor below, but above us, there are 255 housing units. And these units were or are still in the process of being given out by the New York City Housing Department. So Urban itself does not have any decision making in giving out the apartments. That's for the city of New York, the housing lottery. But Urban manages all aspects of the market. In terms of the rent that you mentioned, it is something that was set in stone, part of the contract, that the rent should stay the same. So the rent cannot be raised. It is not going to be raised. In terms of the succession, it's the same thing. It's part of the clause that each vendor had the right to name a successor for his or her business. And most of them, most if not all, did. So they do have someone to take over just in case of whatever event may occur in their life. So the rent stays and remains, and the succession remains in place also.
Just like Mary Jo, one of our listeners, Warren, talked about the taxes. Making sure that we educate the vendors with respect to their financial obligations so they don't get caught up. with not paying sales tax, whatever it is. So I know that that you guys are offering them an opportunity to educate them about that, because I think that is extremely important.
I think I think I thank the viewer for that question, and that gives me the opportunity to say that this is being done with each individual vendor who now has a ledger to not probably record a daily sale, but at least a weekly sale. Because for COVID, they lost out on a lot of funding because of lack of paperwork.
Mm.
That's the main thing,
Yeah,
Mary.
losing
They
money.
lost,
Main thing.
they lost out. The money was there, but there was no paperwork
Shoddy paperwork.
to prove. I mean, we know that they've been there. They've been there for 20 plus years, most
Mhm.
of them, the majority of them, but the paperwork wasn't there. So now it's a whole new ball game. You note, you note your sales, you file your taxes quarterly, however little it may be, and then they all are, I have to say that they, before the move, they had to have their license in place. They had to have their tax ID in place, and they also had to have a certificate of insurance. So each vendor now at Flatbush Central is totally legit, and
Okay.
is totally legit. It took a fight. It took a fight, but each vendor is totally legit, and will our goal is to keep them to keep them so.
Um, Jennifer asked, I understand this that a successor will take over the rental space, which is something that you have elaborated on a couple of times.
Mhm.
But are the vendors establishing an LLC or any other business type entity? Are all of them incorporated in some way, shape, or form? Abdul.
Go ahead.
Many of them are, yeah. I mean, many of them set up LLCs quite some time ago. I think that there is some kind of misconception about the legitimacy of some of these vendors. I mean, they've been doing this for 20 years. And while there are some issues around some parts of their business, they've raised their kids off of running this business. They put their kids in college off of running these businesses. And there are obviously some formalization that needs to still happen, but yeah, many of the vendors do have LLCs and do have their taxes in order and do have tax IDs. And it was like there is a lot more people that did need to establish those things, but a good number of people did also have them. I just wanted to say that.
Um,
Wait up. I wanted to ask something. You mentioned Philadelphia. So are you guys doing the same thing in Philadelphia, establishing the same market in that place? Because I'm hearing ties and ties, more and more collaboration with Philadelphia. What's going on with that?
So our
Abdul is a Philly man.
I'm from Philly. I'm from West Philly.
Okay, all right.
So
Oh,
so
hold on. You said West Philly?
yeah,
born and raised.
You know who's from West Philly?
Stop that. Stop that.
Wait,
You know
what
who's
part?
we're not gonna go into Will Smith.
Thank you, Abdul. Thank you, Abdul. Thank you. Thank you.
Cedar Park, like down Baltimore Avenue. But
Okay.
I would say we are doing work in Philly because our director is from Philly. Also, he's from Strawberry Mansion. We have ties to that space, and the work that we do is it's in social and community development and building spaces, but it's also in research and looking at how we can do this work better. So looking at systems in different neighborhoods and how businesses and especially like Black and brown businesses are run inside of Philadelphia and New York. We're looking at manufacturing also in New York. We did a huge study on contract manufacturing recently in New York as well. But yeah, the work that we're doing in Philly is in its like early stages. We are looking to do some projects there, but a lot of the work that we're doing in Philly right now is really on the research side
Okay. Okay.
and the consulting side. So we do some work around how do we engage inside of spaces and ensure that people in those areas are getting the things that they need. So whether that's inside of the business space or that's inside of things that are just general human need elements of life.
So
area in Philadelphia that was overlooked for a while was 69th Street, where
Yeah.
it's been developed a long time ago. Because when I left in 2000 and then going back in 2018 and seeing that it went backwards instead of forward, I was in a state of shock. So definitely that's like an overlooked area, beautiful place, but totally overlooked and available for development. So yeah.
Yeah, a lot of the work that we're looking at doing is down in Southwest, which is even more overlooked than even 69th Street. But we're looking at potentially doing some projects down there. We have a lot of ties in the community there. And yeah, as far as building spaces, we're not quite there yet, but we're looking to in the future.
You know what, Mary? I just
I'm
want
going to plug my computer in.
Something that I think is important, especially during this period of during this COVID period. And it really highlighted how it highlighted a lot of pre-existing conditions that exist in our communities.
Oh boy, yes.
And it comes down to, as they say, you are what you eat, and your health. And how can we know our mayor is on this healthy, not only healthy living, but healthy eating. So we know that our parents always go back to the country, the spices, the fruits,
the salt,
the soil, the earth, and what type of, how can we, and I know that this is going to exist in
the
market.
paprika,
as we say, the carpadulo.
Oh yeah, the curry. Oh,
so what can we, tell us about that. Tell us, what is going to exist in the market to really concentrate on our basic health component, which could be very beneficial with us continuing to deal with COVID, post-COVID, all these different variants that come up.
Well, I'm taking again the first part, and I'll leave the rest to Abdul, because I'm excited to be working with Seeds in the Middle to bring a farmer's booth to the market, fruits and vegetables at lower cost. I do not, the details are not finalized yet, but it's a booth that you even will be able to use your EBT card to get what you need, healthy fruits and healthy vegetables. So that's the first part. And the second part, since we have a huge kitchen and we have professional chefs, there will be always opportunities to present healthy cooking, to have workshop on health and your food. You are what you eat, so to speak. But that's the that's the vision in my mind. But do take once again that the mangrove is building. The mangrove is building. Not all is set. So when we have people come in, they can also, like Senator Simpson said, this is what I would like to see here in this space. And as much as we can, we will try to implement it. And this is like one example. And it's excellent suggestion. Abdullah, I don't know if you have anything to add to that.
So we're in conversation with some chefs around doing some free courses and people that are in the nutritional space. But we also, on the side of affordability, we did make some rules around the affordability of the food hall as well. And we're encouraging people to provide healthy options in that space. But as Mary Jo said, is it's really a space for people in Flatbush who have ideas and things that they want to share and things that they want to explore to do that. And if people want, if that's an interest, like you brought it up, then we can invest more heavily into that space. And I think it's one of those ones where, you know, we don't want to be the ones to be pushing the agenda of what should the use of this space should be, because like I said, I'm not from Flatbush, so I don't want to be the one to be saying what that space should be, but we're utilizing our networks to support whatever it is that people are interested in investing in. And we have been having a lot of conversations about health and well-being and nutrition and all of those things. So there will be courses, there will be meals that are available and things of that nature.
You know
When
what?
is the grand opening?
Yes.
May 13th, May 14th. Come
May
on.
13th, May 14th is the grand opening. But villagers, I just want to make sure that we get out there and support. I don't need your support on May 13th and 14th. I need your support every single day, 365 days out of the year. This is homegrown. This is your investment in your community, because with that investment, we can branch out and create other opportunities for people in our communities. This can be this can be a game. Not this can be. This will be a game changer. So please get out there. Let's get out there, show support for the grand opening the 13th and the 14th, but make sure on the 15th we get back there. The 16th we're back there. The 17th we're back there. Continue to support so we know that we're going to find little Juju there in the kitchen. She's going to be making some good healthy food for us.
Kumbaya, man.
So I'm looking forward to that, and grabbing a drink or socializing at Rude Girl over there. You know,
And at Lakai Lounge
Oh,
too.
girl to you.
I support definitely.
But
How-
May 13 and 14, I definitely there will be official invites coming out, but I expect the panel to be there, and I do expect all the villagers on the line and on screen to be there. So it's a community event. We are planning it to be fun. After the speeches, there will be music, there will be drumming, there will be steel pen, there will, I mean, there will be stuff.
Will we
So,
have your cake too? Because she's a baker.
oh,
Can
don't,
we have some cake too?
could you not say that on live? Could you not put me on the spot?
Little
Well,
Juju.
you're already on the pot. You got to respond to Little Juju, make sure you're there. How do we reach and connect to you all? If people are interested in
Yes.
having their own,
All right, perfect. Our website, urban for urban development is thisisurban.com. It's a sentence. This is THISURBANE.com. And how to reach us, me, Marijo, MARIJO at urban-dev.com. Again, MARIJO at urban-dev.com. My phone number 917-856-1197. 917-856-1197. Please call, please come, please email, come to Flatbush. I'm waiting for all of you. Now I'll let Abdul give his contact.
You can also find us at flatbushcentral.com. It's just Flatbush and the word central.com. And then also you can call me if you're a designer, an artist, a food maker, a cosmetics producer, or you're just interested in using this space and you want to come and learn about something or do something, have a conversation. We hold forums bi-weekly around interest-based topics. And my number is 917-436-5986. Don't hesitate to call or ask questions or just come by. We're there. We're also there every single day.
Abdul, repeat that number, please. A little slower.
917-436-5986.
All right. So I want to thank both of you guys for joining us to talk about the Flatbush market. Hopefully the information up there is correct. This is urban.com. Mary Jo at urban.
Mary Jo at urban, URBANE.
Yeah. Oh, you had an extra N there.
Yes.
All right. So we'll fix that. And I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Flatbush, show up
today
and spend your money.
All right. So we'll see you
again.
May 14th. And God bless. Have a great week.
God bless.
Thank you so much. God bless.
God bless.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having us.
Good night.
Good night.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, before we sign off, there's so many topics that we didn't talk about today. One of them, you know, being what's going on in Ukraine, and the, 3.5 million refugees are out, and they need place to stay. I know the United States is planning to do some stuff about that.
They plan on.
Right. So I know a lot of our people of color are upset because they feel like they didn't do enough for Black society, African society, the Muslim society. But
Talking
now
about the Haitians recently also.
the Haitians and the Guyanese and Jamaicans and a lot of people who are suffering, right? And they, so, but at the same time, on the flip side of that, though, this is a real
war.
This is a real war, real drastic situation. I wish that Putin would stop calling it invasion. And I think that the United States like the fact that they call it an invasion because it inhibits them from
getting involved.
But
they're already involved. They have
but not with troops. They're not with troops. If it's a war, it's a little bit different because now you can put manpower in there, and they're not doing that. They're just looking at it as although they are
prisoner of war over there.
No, not prisoner. We're not United States prisoner of war. We don't have any of those. Brittany Griner is not a prisoner of war. Right?
Man, listen, the timing
is skeptical, but she's not a prisoner of war. Also, before we leave, I want to make sure that I again send out our regards to the family of Andre Pierre, who's somebody that I grew up with. John grew up with from childhood to know that he passed away. He had some complication from Parkinson's, I believe, for some of that. So I want to send out all the birthdays that I missed this week. Tanya, Georgia, happy belated birthday. And all the birthdays that I missed today is also one of my friends, a couple of friends' birthday. Don't have enough time to list all of them, but there are a few birthdays out there. And by the way, Ayana Brown, I want to congratulate you on your film winning the Sundance Awards out there. So she's one of my high school mates.
Big time.
Right. And then to see what's going on. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun, right? So we lot of things to go over. We're not gonna kill Eric yet. We're not gonna kill him yet.
What are we gonna kill?
Stop using that word, man.
Well,
we have enough crime in the street.
Hey, the mayor's doing a fine job.
Right.
So I don't know what you're talking about.
When I'm not using the word kill as in hurt, I'm talking about saying that he's not doing what he needs to do. And you know what? Actually, now that you're saying that, Joanne, I just got a message that there's been a shooting right here in Brooklyn. Two people got shot, right, John? That's sort of it. Yeah.
Linden Boulevard.
Linden and East 56. So that's literally a couple of, not even a mile, maybe about a mile away from the studio about the shooting. So we're talking about literal violence and also talk about what happened with Will Smith and Chris Rock, and that also another perceived violence. You know, we didn't talk about Jackson today. Hopefully soon to be Judge Jackson. Great to see that Susan Collins from Maine, a Republican senator, has said that she will vote for her to become our next Supreme Court judge. And that means that makes it bipartisan, and that makes me glad.
I'm glad.
You're glad.
I'm glad that you're glad.
I know.
I'm just saying. I just think, you know, it's one thing to because both sides bash. Democrats are going to put out how the Republicans are going at her. The Republicans put how the Democrats are going at their candidate. They both do it. It's not like, you know, so people both do it equally, right? right? So it's not like one does it and the other one doesn't do it, right? We side with the party that we're most affiliated with, but if we're being neutral, unlike Ginny Thomas over there, who's part of the insurrection, I'm talking about Clarence Thomas's wife, right? That's an issue. Yeah. I'm trying to be careful, Simone, so Facebook doesn't censor me, and that's why you guys need to. Yeah, that's why you guys need to subscribe to our YouTube channel, right? So subscribe to our YouTube channel at the Village Radio Talk Show, right? The Village Radio Talk Show. So we're trying to get all that numbers up so that we're trying to give back to the community. And if we bring the numbers up, we're able to raise monies to help with the community. So I'm asking for your support to sign up, subscribe on our YouTube channel, the Village Radio Talk Show, just like it says on the screen, the Village Radio Talk Show. And please, John, Joanne, Andre, Sophia, tell a friend, bring a friend, share it with a friend. All right? Any important words?
My parting words are, villagers, thank you for this evening. We look forward to you for next week. And one thing I would like my villagers, please call in, share some topics that you want us to cover. I just want this to definitely be a community radio talk show. We deal with issues that impact you. And, I know you had a good time when I hosted it for that 3 minutes before Mr. Daly came in. So maybe it might be 5 minutes next week, villages.
I'm gonna give you a 20 next week. How about that? I'm thinking, John, maybe we should do maybe no more than one guest next week, so we can have a lot of time to maybe freestyle Thursday.
Freestyle Thursdays. I might do it. Little Juju, what you think?
What do you think, Little Juju?
What do you think, Little Juju?
Good night, villagers. Have a great week.
You have no sense. Yo, we got to talk to her about the sense of humor. Yo.
Good night, villagers. Have
okay, Little Juju. Oui, Mademoiselle Little Juju. Oui, or no?
Come on, man. Enough already.
I'm gonna do a Will Smith on you in a second.
Kumbaya, man. We as people spend too much airtime on the slap and not the Supreme Court justice. That is true. But unfortunately, today's we gotta go.
No, but hopefully next week we're gonna be talking about justice, the new justice.
Yes, justice, right? Justice.
Of
actually,
the Supreme Court. Hopefully we get those votes.
Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. Come one, come all to learn and grow. Welcome to the Village Talk Show. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. We discuss what people need to know, empowering them to learn and grow. Give praise